Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Beyond its endless sunshine and sandy beaches, Spain has a dark history that has stained the nation to this day. For hundreds of years, people were burned at the stake, stretched to death, or otherwise tortured for the sole reason that they were not Catholic. The Spanish Inquisition is considered to be one of the most shameful and grotesque periods in Roman Catholic history. According to some modern estimates, around 150,000 people were prosecuted for various offenses during the 3-century duration of the Reign of Terror, of whom between 3,000 and 5,000 were executed after enduring some of the most spine-chilling acts of torture imaginable. Extensive archival material contains accounts of torture victims' cries and descriptions of funeral pyres, atrocities which continue to horrify historians to this day. The horrors of the Inquisition are among some of the most sadistic acts of terror in history, which extended into every area of Spanish society and almost every corner of its global empire. In 1478, when the Christian kings of Castile began their reconquest, they consolidated their power in the monarchy and the newly unified Spanish kingdom of Castile and Aragon through brutal methods that led to widespread death and suffering, all in the name of maintaining Catholic orthodoxy in their kingdoms. The Inquisition was characterized by secret procedures, the use of vicious and dehumanizing torture methods during interrogations, and the complete lack of rights for the accused. One of the main torture devices was the rack, a device consisting of a rectangular, usually wooden frame, slightly raised from the ground, with a roller at one or both ends. The victim's ankles would be fastened to one roller and the wrists chained to the other. As the interrogation would progress, a handle attached to the top roller would be used very gradually to retract the chains, slowly increasing the strain on the prisoner's shoulders, hips, knees, and elbows, and causing excruciating pain. If the roller was turned too far, it could lead to the dismemberment of limbs. Just by seeing the horrific pain endured by someone, others who were awaiting interrogation would confess to anything, just to avoid being tortured. The rack would usually be used in 2 instances. The first lasted several turns, with the intention of frightening the prisoner. After, the machine would be stopped and the victim was told to speak. If they did not confess, they would be succumbed to another round of interrogation and torture. Victims could be cruelly stretched by up to 30 centimeters, the pain unbearable. After just a few turns, the sufferer would not be able to stand up or walk. In many cases, defendants died. Another harrowing method was the use of the pulley. Here, the hands of the accused would be tied behind their back and the rope looped over a brace in the ceiling of the chamber, or attached to a pulley. Then the subject would be raised from their arms, with the aim of pulling the shoulders out of their sockets. Sometimes, the torturers added a series of drops, jerking the subject up and down. Weights could be added to the ankles and feet to make the hanging even more painful. Another common torture method used by inquisitors was waterboarding, also referred to as taca or tortura del agua. There were several different versions of this torture method, but the most basic one consisted of water being poured down their throat to produce the sensation of drowning. In many cases, the victim would become unconscious from this. This practice was perfected over the next few centuries, a method that is still used today by some intelligence agencies. This would consist of covering a person's face with a cloth and pouring water over it, producing extreme physical suffering and an uncontrollable feeling of panic and terror within seconds. This form of torture had a profound religious significance to inquisitors, as it left no marks and didn't draw any blood. In fact, inquisitors were among the first to use waterboarding. The first use of water torture has been attested to have taken place in 1516 in Graz, Austria, and the Spaniards extensively used the method in its detention centers throughout the course of the 1500s. The US CIA has admitted to having used this torture method against war prisoners, which included the masterminds behind the 9/11 attacks in 2001. In 2020, the psychologists,